Hello and welcome back to the Analyst Hat-Trick, where the festive period is beginning to get into full swing. There's no secret parties here or secret Santas, cheese wines and nibbles, just insights into three key Premier League matches. And, there's so many games coming up here. It could be a real festive treat for some of you. But, I'm going to say this about you in the Optimists community, you need to pick your game up. Last game week, you failed to pick any of the results correctly. If it makes you feel any better, our supercomputer also failed to do anything. So both you're going to need to really pick it up into this week's action, because at the top of the table, well, Matt is running away with it. He is closing in on the magical 50% at the top of the table. You, in the community, were probably our best hope of catching him before the end of the year, but it seems like that might be out the window now. Maybe we can get things off to a good start this weekend, because we're going to begin at the Brentford Community Stadium, where the Bees are taking on Watford, and they complete a unique feat. See, this is the first time the two sides will have met in the top flight of English football. All their previous games have come in the second, third or fourth tiers, and they have also met in the two major cup competitions in this country as well. So a nice little feat completed there. It was the Bees who took the victory the last time the two teams met in London, a result that ended a 13-game winless league run against the Hornets dating back to 1977. And our win probability model believes that Thomas Frank's side will be victorious once again and extend their 8-game unbeaten run in matches played on a Friday night since 2016. They were, of course, able to record a first ever Premier League fixture victory on the opening night of the season against Arsenal. Now, it doesn't make for pretty reading defensively for Claudio Ranieri at the moment. Memories of that famous victory against Manchester United beginning to slip away. You see, Watford are the only team in the Premier League this season yet to keep a clean sheet. And since the Italian took charge at Vicarage Road, they have conceded 19 goals, more than any other team in the Premier League during that time span. Not one of us analyst contributors is backing Watford to secure the victory here, which would fit in with Ranieri's last 24 away Premier League matches as a manager at Leicester, Fulham and now Watford, where he has only been able to get 7 points on the board and just the solitary victory at an average of 0.29 points per game on the road. Once again, we're going to be running our polls on the Twitter account on the match day, so head over to @OptaAnalyst to make sure your vote is cast. And just while you're making a decision, let me give you a little bit of an insight that might help you. You see, 4 of the last 6 games between newly promoted sides in the Premier League have been won by the away team, including the 2 games that have happened this season. Now let's just roll through them, shall we? So first of all, Watford beat Norwich, and then we have seen Norwich beat Brentford, which surely means we need to complete the triangle and have Brentford beat Watford in this one. But just before you all start running away and ticking that button to vote for the Bees, you might want to bear this in mind. You see, the away side had won just 3 of the previous 38 such matches in the competition, so plenty going to change here. So on to Saturday's games it is, and I've given the supercomputer a bit of a kick for these ones. I don't think that I have ever seen it to be sure about a set of results as it is for these. But a word of warning for Manchester United fans and those pundits who believe their team is set for a run of 10 successive victories. The Red Devils are actually winless in their last 4 Premier League matches against newly promoted sides, with a trip to Carrow Road coming up this weekend. United, though, haven't gone 5 league games in a row without a win against such sides since a run of 7 between January 1992 and January 1993. Our supercomputer also believes there will be wins for Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal. But whether wins for those teams will have any impact on the top of the table is really going to depend upon the early kickoff, where leaders Manchester City take on Wolves. Now, even if you're a neutral, I really recommend you tune into this game because it holds a unique place in the English Football League history. You see, amongst fixtures to have been played at least 60 times in the history of the English Football League, this match has the highest goals per game ratio. I know, in fact, there have been 437 goals between these two sides in their 114 meetings. And just hang on a second for me. So 437 goals divided by, what is it, 114 equals, that's right, oh yeah, a goal ratio of 3.83 goals per game. Definitely one to tune in for then. Well, our win probability model, perhaps unsurprisingly, is backing Pep Guardiola's side to be victorious as they look to close in on a bit of top-flight history. City have won 31 of their 39 Premier League games they've played in 2021. Victory here, and they will draw equal with Chelsea's feats from the 2005 season, and then find themselves just one win behind Liverpool's dominant team in the 1982 season. Even if they don't manage success in either of these games, with 5 games to play, I know, 5 games in the Premier League still to play in 2021, they've got the chance to really smash that record. One thing though, if City are to win this game, just don't expect the goal to come from a set piece. You see, excluding penalties, Wolves are the only team not to have conceded a goal from a set piece this season, even though they have faced 39 shots in such situations. And this is a remarkable turnaround from last season when they conceded 14 goals from set pieces, excluding penalties, which was actually the second worst record in the Premier League. And probably no surprise here though, as all of our contributors have backed Manchester City to be victorious, and that might be because Wolves have lost 20 of their last 23 away top-flight matches against the reigning champions. So our poll for this game will open up on Friday night, so make sure you head over to our Twitter account @OptaAnalyst to cast your vote. And here's a few key insights into some of the individuals who might be taking to the field in this game. Gabriel Jesus has scored in all 3 of his Premier League starts against Wolves, netting 5 goals in total, with the Brazilian having only netted more against Everton in the competition than he has against Wolves. Meanwhile, Adama Traore has scored more Premier League goals against Manchester City than he has against any other side, including both in their only away victory last season, which surprisingly came against the Citizens. And keep your eyes on Raheem Sterling as well. He's now found the net on 99 occasions in the Premier League and would become the 32nd different player to reach triple figures in the competition, although he would only be the 8th youngest to do so if he nets at the Etihad on Saturday. So on to Sunday's games, where again our win probability model is fairly confident in its predictions, but West Ham will have to reverse the course of history if they are to potentially be successful against Burnley. They have never kept a clean sheet in 7 Premier League trips to Turf Moor. Still, our computer gives them a 41.4% chance of success, whilst it's also predicting victories for Leicester. But it is the late game on Sunday which is grabbing our attention, because the clash at Selhurst Park is proving very difficult for our win probability model to choose from, because in reality something has got to give in this game. Crystal Palace are winless in their last 13 Premier League matches against Everton. Meanwhile, the Toffees are winless in their last 5 away Premier League games, and they have conceded first in each of those games too. Our win probability model, though, is giving the Eagles some hope with a 35.9% chance of victory, and that might be because Everton have failed to score in their last 6 Premier League games played on a Sunday. But no side has ever failed to score in 7 consecutive Premier League Sunday games, so they'll be hoping to avoid a bit of unwanted history in this one. And don't be surprised if Everton do get a result out of this game if they do fall behind. You see, they have won more points from a losing position with 10 than any other team in the Premier League this season. And even more, that makes up 56% of their total points so far this season. Only 2 teams in the competition's history have won a higher share of their total points from losing positions, so it's highly unusual that this occurs. All of our contributors, bar yours truly, are backing Palace to take the win, but it is worth bearing in mind that the Toffees are unbeaten in 10 Premier League away games against Crystal Palace, dating back to a 1-0 defeat in October of 1994. In fact, in their top-flight history, only against Preston with 11 and Liverpool with 15 have they had longer unbeaten away runs. So our poll for this game will open up on Sunday morning, so make sure you're following our Twitter account at Optaranis for that and loads more insights as well, because it's going to be another tricky trip to London for Rafa Benitez. The Spaniard has lost 12 of his last 17 Premier League away games against London sides, with both draws in that run actually coming at Crystal Palace. Amazingly, it's just one fewer defeat than he suffered in his first 30 such games in the competition, during which he won 12 and drew 5. Well, that's it. We're looking forward to a great weekend of action. Make sure you head over to theanalyst.com, the home of data-driven storytelling, for so much more insight into the weekend's action. And of course, be following us on Twitter too, at Optaranis, to take part in each and every one of our polls. But for now, I've been Graham Bell, and until next time, goodbye.